Let's explore a feature unique to Park Studio called the Spline Tools. The Spline Tools are a group of tools that allow you to draw things that are based on splines. This includes fences, paths, plazas, and even rivers and lakes, with more tools coming in the future, such as hedges, curbs, and roads. The Spline Tools are very easy to use. Simply select the tool you want, click anywhere, and begin drawing. Do note that the longer the spline gets, the more you may start lagging, as drawing live takes a little bit of your computer resources to update. You may notice that while drawing, the spline may flicker a little bit, and that's totally normal. That's because the spline is refreshing every time it finishes building to keep following the direction you tell it to go. Once you're satisfied with your spline, press middle mouse click to stop drawing. A placed spline can be edited by simply clicking on any visible part of it, which will bring up the nodes of the splines as well as handy floating widgets to insert nodes in between other nodes. Since that is relatively straightforward, I will instead focus on the settings of a spline tool. Most spline tools have two options, the spline type and the snapping. Spline type controls whether the tool is curving or makes straight segments such as this fence, and snapping allows you to align the generated objects with the terrain. So if I quickly sculpt a bit of terrain and refresh the spline tool, you will notice it sticks to the terrain. Snapping has two modes. One will stick the objects to the terrain but will keep them facing up, while the other mode sticks the objects to whatever the angle of the terrain is. Finally, you can set the color of a spline by using the color picker. Paths work the same way as fences, except they can only be curved. If you need to create square paths, use a floor piece that is the exact same height as the paths with the same materials. You can change the material of a path with the scrolling list. As a quick reminder, visitors will not need paths to walk, they will be able to walk on anything they can reach, which includes any building pieces. Plazas are a surface tool, meaning they don't generate objects along a spline, but rather generate a surface inside a spline. With that in mind, it means you cannot cross the spline, or it may generate wrong. Plazas will always stick to the terrain no matter what, but this will be changed in future updates. Finally, the rivers and lake tools work exactly as the paths and plazas, except they dig into the terrain and are a water material. You may notice that rivers and lakes generate a little bit slower than other tools, and that is because the terrain editing isn't very fast, so use with caution or place a few nodes and expand your rivers and lakes later with the insert feature. Rivers in Park Studio are not just a scrolling texture, they are a simulated body, so anything you put in the water will make the water wrap around it. Do note that this effect is not going to block water, it is simply going to make water flow relatively around objects like rocks.